So you want to grow your listing inventory, but you're tired of focusing on oversaturated leads that all the agents in your market are calling every single day. Well, in this video, I have a really special lead source that not many real estate agents are calling, which gives you the best opportunity to be able to get in there and start building relationships with these sellers. So let's dive right into the video. My name is Chris with the Empire of Real Estate YouTube channel. On this channel, we talk about real estate, entrepreneurship, and building your real estate empire. Before we get started, I do want to offer you our script book. It's called What to Say. Basically, it's the script book that I use to call leads, prospect, and get listings with my real estate team. So if you want to check that out, there's a link down below where you can get your copy. So let's talk about the lead source. The lead source is for rent by owners. Now, FRBO leads are a great opportunity. But if you don't know what this lead source is yet, essentially what it is it's landlords that are listing their property on the market for rent. And you might be wondering, like, how is this going to get me a listing? Well, there's a very special way to go about calling these leads that will entice these people to be curious about what their home is worth. So in this video, I'm going to uncover all the conversation points that you should be having with this lead source, and then how to follow up with this lead source so they eventually turn into listings or they turn into qualified buyers that are buying multiple properties from you. So let's dig a little bit deeper. So the very first thing I want to cover is the advantage of targeting for rent by owner leads. Now you might be wondering, like, why would I target this lead source? Because it seems like they just want to rent their property, and there's really no point because I want to be a listing agent and not a rental agent. Well, that's a common misconception that this lead source has. And the truth is if you start calling this lead source, you're going to notice that a lot of these people that own these properties are tired landlords, and they might have a portfolio of 2, 3, 4, sometimes even 5 properties or more, and they want to liquidate those properties because they're just tired of being a landlord. Now, also, when you call this lead source, you're going to run into people that are in the acquisition phase of building their portfolio. And this is another great conversation to have because you could start building your list of motivated investors. And when deals come on the market, you're going to be the go-to agent to send them those deals. So there's multiple prongs that you can use when calling this lead source. It's not just a one-sided conversation. You can shift multiple ways, and that's why it makes it such a good lead source, because you have multiple avenues to expand the dialogue and the conversation and gain clients for your business. Now that I get your attention, you're probably wondering, how do you find this lead source efficiently? Sure, you can go on websites like Craigslist or Zillow Rentals and kind of dig around and find numbers. And that's one way to do it, especially if you don't want to invest any money to be able to find these leads. And it can be as simple as going through those websites, jotting down numbers, uploading them to your CRM, and then following up that way. That's one way to do it, and it definitely works. Now, if you want to invest a little bit of capital, which is very inexpensive, I would suggest looking at Redx. That's the tool that my team and I use to call this lead source, and it's very cheap to get started with it. So if you want to check them out, there's an affiliate link down below where you can check out pricing and special discounts. So once you have your tool that you're going to be finding this lead source with, it's important to go through all the leads that you have at any given day and decide which ones you want to call. Now, at first, you might want to call every single for rent by owner lead that comes up every single day. And this can be a very effective strategy if you're in a smaller market. Now, if you're in a bigger market, you might want to go through and select 20, 30, or 40 of them, and then start having conversations with those leads. Now, if you're curious on how I organize this pipeline, go check out our video on how to use Redx to get more listing leads. And it kind of goes over how we set up our funnel and our CRM to create a predictable stream of real estate sales. So essentially, it creates a really organized flow where you can kind of start building your sales funnel and your pipeline, where you can start predicting how many listings are going to come out, and it makes it very effective on how you're going to follow up with these leads and start cultivating those relationships. Now let's go over 3 different steps you need to do to start having effective communication with these leads and start getting them as clients. So the very first thing you're going to want to do is you're going to want to start building a relationship. The initial phone call is not about listing a property. It's simply having an open dialogue, and that's one of our scripts. And we essentially go through what they're looking to do, what they're looking to accomplish, how long they've had the property. Are they looking to liquidate their portfolio, or are they in the building phase? Are they in the stage of their life where they're trying to acquire more property? And if that's the case, you have a couple different avenues you can go down. You can ask them if they're interested in selling their property, if they have equity, and then doing a 1031 into a larger property. Sometimes landlords are very interested in that. Or sometimes they just want to acquire more property. And if that's the case, you want to put them on your newsletter and send them weekly deals and weekly updates on properties that can be great for your investor list. The next thing you want to do is you want to start offering value. One of the quickest ways to offer value is with a simple home value report and a seller net sheet. Now, a seller net sheet is a great tool because as investors, they always want to know what they're going to walk away with after all the fees, after paying off all the mortgages and anything on the property, any outstanding balances. And if you can show that to them on paper, sometimes that makes a big difference. After you have the initial conversation, always set a follow-up. And what I would try to do is, if you can, try to get out to the property and do a preview. One of the leads that I talked to in the past had a single family home. They were trying to rent it. They were kind of on the fence, but I said, hey, I can get you a home value report. We can figure out how much money you'd walk away with if you did decide to sell the property. And if you decide to still rent it, that's cool too. But at least you'll have some options, and then you can let me know what's the best move for you. He decided to meet me out at the property. We did a walk around. We looked through it. He said, okay, I'll call you in a couple weeks. I continue to do the weekly follow-ups, so it's important to have a good CRM and then follow up with these people every single week after you have the initial face-to-face appointment. And then eventually 3 or 4 weeks later, we ended up listing that property and selling that property, and that landlord walked away with a great profit. One of the most important things when dealing with this lead source is not to be salesy, not to push, or not to really force anything. It's just important to have a conversation, stand out as the local expert, talk numbers, talk about what's important to them, and then really work on follow-up, because follow-up is the entire key to the game with this listing source. If you are working for Rent by Owner Leads, I would love to hear some of your stories in the comment section below. And if you want to join our agent support group, go check that out. That's going to be linked down below as well. Thanks for tuning in, and you have an awesome day. Thank you for watching the Empire of Real Estate YouTube channel. On this channel, we talk about real estate and entrepreneurship. So if you like that kind of content and you haven't subscribed yet, smash the like button and subscribe. And before we go, there isn't a video over here that we think you'll like, so be sure to check that out as well. Thanks so much for tuning in, and you have a great day.